Hello and welcome back to Energy Center Live. I'm Chip McGuff, and with me as always is Jackie Stone. Tonight we are going to dive knee-deep into knee walls. We'll take a look at various framing types so that you can learn what you need to know to comply with 2012 North Carolina Energy Code requirements.
Chip, as you know, many new homes in North Carolina have knee walls that separate living areas from unconditioned attic spaces. And if those knee walls aren't properly air sealed and insulated, those living areas can become incredibly hot or cold and incredibly expensive to cool or heat.
Fortunately, there are lots of ways to prevent that unwanted air movement and keep those rooms from becoming an icebox or a sauna. And homeowners will love the comfort and energy saving.
You got that right, Chip. First, the North Carolina Energy Code requires that we install blocking between the joist under the knee wall to prevent air movement.
So, what kind of blocking are we talking about? It can either be dimensional lumber, manufactured wood products such as plywood or OSB, or any solid rigid material. And if you really want to seal that baby off tight as a drum, add some foam insulation or caulking around the blocking.
Code also states that insulation be enclosed on all 6 sides. Typically, this means that both sides, as well as the top and bottom, will be enclosed by the framing. The interior side will usually be enclosed by drywall, while the attic side is typically enclosed by plywood or some other sheet good that seals out air and holds the insulation in place.
You want to nail the backer securely to the knee walls. Again, you want those barriers to be tight, tight, tight. Be sure that the seams have framing behind them, and if not, tape them off. You want to seal out the air.
So we just looked at traditional stick framing. What if you're using roof trusses that have integrated knee walls? In that case, you'll want to install a top plate. That way you can attach and seal the air barrier backing. Remember, the top plate must go on after the rafters have been furred down.
You also need to remember that one of the other sides to the 6-sided assembly is the bottom plate. Just like the top plate, the bottom plate serves as an air barrier and provides a way to attach and seal the knee wall backer on the attic side and the drywall on the interior side. Remember, the key is to install an air barrier on your knee walls that's continuous, free of gaps, and fully covers the knee wall. You want a solid defense, so make sure that unwanted attic air doesn't get into the wall assembly.
Let's look at the insulation R values required for knee walls. The R value depends on where you're building.
North Carolina has 3 climate zones labeled 3, 4, and 5. Zone 3 requires R13, Zone 4 requires R15, and Zone 5, the coldest part of the state, requires R19.
Let's cover access doors from the living areas to the unconditioned spaces. They can be real problems for leaking air and heat loss if not built properly.
You got that right, Jackie. I've been around those access doors in the winter, and if they're not to code, it gets so cold, pickpockets start putting their hands in their own pockets.
So let's look at proper construction. Vertical doors and knee walls should be weather stripped and insulated to R5. To make that a little easier, many manufacturers sell them already pre-insulated and weather stripped, code compliant. Here's a good place to call an audible. Either buy a factory-made door as we just mentioned, or build the access on site. Either way, be sure to insulate it to the right value. Also, be sure to seal around the door jambs with expandable foam or backer rod, and weather strip the door opening and threshold. That's the code for knee walls. Executed well, and you're going to create living areas that are comfortable no matter the temperature outside.
And have some very happy homeowners as a result. Remember, if you have any questions or concerns, always refer to the most current North Carolina Building Code requirements or visit the NC Energy Efficiency Alliance website at ncenergystar.org. I'm Chip McGuff.
And I'm Jackie Stone. Thanks, and we'll see you next time on Energy Center Live.